Welcome to the Broken Masterpiece. I have been on hiatus for like a month and a half, so I'm so sorry, but I am back, and today's video I'm so excited to share with you. Today's video is all about staging, the technique I use, the different places I have staged furniture, the items I use for the top of it, and how to get the best pictures possible. Whether you're a furniture painter or someone at home just trying to sell their furniture, the way to get top dollar is staging. I am convinced, so stay tuned for the entire video. First up, we're going to get into dining room table staging. Every time I make over one of my dining room tables, I have to move my entire dining room table to accommodate the one that I just flipped. So most of these are staged in my dining room or at my parents' house, moving a bunch of their furniture because I just needed a blank wall. The best way to stage your dining room tables is to get pictures from head on and then over top of the table so that people can see what the top looks like. You want to make it look like how it looks like in a home. So you want to use decor that you already have, bright colors like yellows and reds to pull out the colors. And there's a great lighting kit on Amazon that I've linked in the description below that I use for my softbox lighting. Natural light does come through the windows, but sometimes when you have too many shadows, it's really good to use those softbox lightings so that they get all the colors of the piece really well. On this table right here, I didn't have my softbox lightings and I had to use my dad's halogens, and look at all the shadows and the difference. All right, next up we've got our hutch or our china cabinet staging. So this is the piece that I don't have anything in, but I did pull some faux plants from my back porch. This is staged in my garage, and I'll show you in a second what that looks like, but I was able to get some wall decor on the wall, and then I used stuff from my own personal china hutch inside that would just help complement the colors and bring out the warm, soft wood tones. The shelves were pretty tight, so I couldn't use tall wine glasses, and you can't really see those anyways, and so I used copper Moscow Mule mugs. On different color hutches, you're going to want to use a variety of flowers to bring out the color, especially if it's blue. Most of the flowers I use are faux, and I have some for all seasons of the year, but the use of flowers, whether fake or real, plus the use of china plates, those are wine glasses on the top, those are champagne flutes on the bottom, it brings out the color, and it also lets you know if I'm using yellow and green, you're going to see more of that dark navy blue in here. Same thing with any primary color. Next up, we're going to move into the most popular piece I do, which is buffet staging, but this is also dresser and chest of drawers staging as well. Since I redid my garage, and you can go check out that makeover on my YouTube channel, I've been able to move my staging booth outside. So it's now a pop-up, stand up, and get pieces photographed. And I love it a lot better than back inside my garage because I had to use a lot of lighting back in my garage. And this way I get to use all natural lighting. Everything I've used here is linked in the description below. A lot of neighbors, yes, they will stop by, but hopefully it just allows you to be friends with them and so that I can keep working at home, which is what I love. This backdrop is a 10x10 vinyl backdrop from Amazon. You can get it in white brick, red brick, and the flooring is a wall paneling from Lowe's. It's only like 25 bucks. And then I just use a piece of baseboard for the difference to show that it's against a wall. So for staging dressers and buffets like this, you want to have it look like it's the first thing people see when they walk into the home. So like more of the statement piece. You want to use decor that just grabs attention, that creates interest. Whenever I have gold handles, I try and match something gold up top. When it's a light blue like this, I try and use very soft beiges and whites and creams and golds. But for navy blue like this, I use pops of colors and yellows and more primary colors to bring out the actual color that it is. Using any sort of green plant really helps accentuate the colors because then your phone camera, which is what I use, can see the green, know that it's green, and then get the right tint on your piece that you're going to need to sell it. The best place to get vases for your piece is at Salvation Army or any thrift shop. You can spray paint them gold, or you can spray paint them whatever color your pulls are, like copper or bronze, and it just helps tie everything in. For black pieces, my go-to color is red. These are real roses, and it just helped bring out that color. At Home is another great store that carries home decor, good for the walls, vases for your pieces, and then you can also get some seasonal stuff as well. Everything you get from these stores is a business write-off, so keep that in mind as well. I'm able to decorate my own home, and then when it comes to staging time, I'm pulling things off my walls, off my shelves, off my own buffet to add to my pieces for staging. And all of these photos are shot from dead on. You want to make sure that your grid is on your phone and it's showing a 0-0 tilt so that you know that it's dead on. That's going to be the first photo that you're posting online. Here's a better look at when it was staged inside my garage. I had that entire wall and I was able to put plants in there, put things on the wall, and it was nice. But again, not having to use the lighting kit has been really helpful in how I'm photographing the pieces just outside now when the sun has passed so that I can get the natural good lighting. When you're selling multiple pieces together, it's okay to stack nightstands. It looks really good, or you can pull them in front of the dresser to show the differentiation. Same thing with dressers. You really want to showcase it as if it would be sitting in a room. So if it's a baby dresser, you want to put a cute baby sign. If it's a seasonal time of year and it's an entertainment center, you want to stage it thoroughly. Basically, you want to make your purchaser fall in love with how it's going to look in their home. When things have more modern lines, you're going to give it more modern decor. If it's farmhouse, you're going to give it more of a farmhouse decor because the person that's buying your piece is going to have their own pieces decorated as such. Seasonal decor is some of my favorite because it really gets a piece moving fast if you can sell it within that time frame of the season that you're at, or just before as they're starting to decorate. And remember, when you're photographing green or blue, you want to use primary colors like reds and oranges, greens or blues, the opposite of it, to bring out the true color so that people aren't surprised when they show up at your house and you photographed it and your phone didn't capture the actual color that it is. Facebook Marketplace too is also highlighting more sales posts that have videos in them. So taking a video like this so a client can see it before they even arrive at your house is perfect. Another tip for staging is to add multiple layers. So getting a sign in there, flowers, you want a short flower, you want something on the wall. Having different sizes and different stages of your staging really creates interest. All of this decor was from at home and I used it to layer. So I've got different pieces sitting behind, they're different sizes. So one's short, one's tall, one's in the middle. Now I'm going to show you again how I set up my outside booth. This was a perfect, just cloudy day that still had all the natural lighting. So I got out my flooring panel, got out my vinyl. I'm clamping it to my open garage door. So just buy cheap clamps from like Harbor Freight. They're awesome. Because it's a little bit windy, I'm using little stone bricks that I have. Clearly my wheels for this coffee table aren't working, so I had to wrangle it inside. But as soon as you put it on there, you notice that it's pulling on the vinyl a little bit. You want to make sure that that vinyl is sturdy across and isn't showing that, because that's going to show up in your photo. I went inside my house and I grabbed runners, vases, different colors, and I'm going to hold my phone up to see how it's capturing it, what looks good, and then ultimately end with not this much stuff on the table, but much less, so that I know I'm happy with how it looks. All right, moving over into one of the more harder pieces to stage is your nightstands and your end tables. I do love the use of lamps and small signs that have phrases on them, but I also love the use of flowers. And in this instance, these are dried eucalyptus leaves from Trader Joe's. I keep them in a bag and I pull them out for things like this that really showcased the colors in that piece. Now here's a before if I was just to put it into my backdrop without any staging, but here's the after, you guys. Do you think this piece sold so quick? Absolutely, it was gone within 48 hours because I took the extra time to pull out a Christmas tree, decorate it, pull out some decor, put it on the top. And I'm also getting top dollar in Charlotte, North Carolina for these pieces because I'm putting in the work to stage it. And when you go to write up your post for Facebook Marketplace, and again, that's where I sell most of my stuff, so I'm not even sticking with Etsy or Cherish or any of those things because I don't trust shipping. But when I go to Facebook Marketplace, I've been able to use ChatGPT to help me write the descriptions for that when I am feeling not so creative, and it helps me explain the piece. It's just, hey, can you describe for me a sage green Dixie buffet with 9 drawers? And it writes you a whole description. You have to edit it, but it just helps you in marketing your piece online, letting people know that you know what you're talking about, and getting it sold. So for these 2 nightstands, I am using a real fiddle leaf, a baby plant that I got, and I repotted it because I loved the dark blue, and it's going to bring out more of that periwinkle blue in my piece. The placemats I've put on there just help protect the top while it's still curing, but I have them in wood, I have them in white, and they're all from Hobby Lobby, and they're real inexpensive. So I'm trying to layer on both pieces with a smaller front piece, a taller back piece, and just different stages of the decor that's going to bring out the pieces but also make them look very interesting. Mixing shapes is great too, so whether you're using a cylinder vase and then a square sign, or a cylinder bowl and then a triangle vase. So just mix it up, create different levels, different heights, and mix up your textures. When I started photographing outside like this, I don't even have to edit my photos anymore. I can just crop them and post them right to Marketplace and take video and post it to Marketplace as well. If you can see on these nightstands, I actually forgot my baseboard, but it still didn't matter. They sold very quickly. Turning your phone upside down as well allows you to get a more ground up photo of your piece, and it's really cool if you turn it on portrait mode, getting that shot. If you have cinematic feature on your phone, or you can go to active mode, it gets a little bit slower of a video that you can add to your Facebook Marketplace. Here's some of the shots I got, and this set sold for $2,000. So take the shots, take the time. Alright, last but not least, I want to show you what it looks like on my phone. This is an old Pixel that I use for my vertical stuff. I use my Pixel 7 for my horizontal YouTube stuff, but those are those lines inside. It's got its own leveler, so once you get everything on 0, you know you're going to hit it from head on. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know what you think.